Period. Okay, so here's sum, difference, product, and quotients of functions. So this is combining functions right now. Here's adding, here's subtracting, here's multiplying, here's dividing. And check it out. This right here, see that weird thing? Like there's an x right here? That's a variable, but this g and this f, those represent functions. They don't represent a variable. So you're not going to distribute this x to these. That's weird. Instead, what it looks like is that, like this actually kind of does look like you distribute. But this is f of x plus g of x. This one right here means f of x plus minus g of x. This one means you're multiplying those two, and this one means you're dividing them. And make sure you know that g cannot equal 0, which you guys already do know. You can't divide by 0. You crazy. So over here we have f defined, we have g defined, and then the question says find f plus g of x. Don't forget f plus g of x, you can rewrite as f of x plus g of x. Sometimes problems do something like this. They say h of x equals f plus g of x. And so h is going to be whatever our answer is. So look, we just have to add these two things together. So let's do that, shall we? We shall. We have the f function, which is 2x plus 1. And then we're going to add to that. Let's put parentheses around it for fun. And then we're going to add to that the g function, which is, the rule is x squared plus 2x minus 1. So we write that, x squared plus 2x minus 1. Put parentheses. Now, are those parentheses necessary? No, they're not, because I don't have a negative right here that I have to distribute. So we can delete those parentheses in our heads and just combine like terms. Okay, we got x squared. It's only one of those dudes. We have a 2x and a 2x there. That means we have a total of 4 x's. And then we have a constant right here. Let's make a square thing around him. And that's a negative 1. So they cancel out. So this is my answer. This would equal h of x if they defined it as h of x, or if you defined it as h of x. Or you can write this equals f plus g of x. So this is the f plus g function. We got subtraction going on right here. So we have f minus g. So let's do our f function, which is, what is that? 2x plus 1. So we got 2x plus 1. And then we're going to subtract from that the g function, which is that. We have x squared plus 2x minus 1. Notice that I put parentheses. Here is really important because we have to see that we distribute that negative. So we change the signs of every single term inside the parentheses to see what we get. We have a negative x squared, and this time, look at our x terms, done with ux squared. Well, look at our x terms. We have a negative 2 and a positive 2, so they cancel out. Oh, too bad, so sad. Then we have a positive 1 and a positive 1, so we add those, we get 2. This is our f minus g function. Now this says, then evaluate the difference when x equals 2. So now we got to take that 2 and we got to plug it in. After I do this, I'll show you guys a shorter way to do this. We have negative, and we plug in the 2. Is it 2 or negative 2? Just regular 2. And we square it, and plus 2. So I took the 2, I plugged it into my new function. This is what it looks like. We have 2 squared, which is 4. This squared does not see that negative. So that negative is going to sneak up on that 2 right there. So we have 2 times 2, which gives me 4. And then we have to multiply it by negative 1, which gives me negative 4 plus the 2. What do we get? Negative 2. All right, so this is our answer. F minus g of 2 equals 2. I told you there's another way to do this, so I'm going to tell you how to do that right now. Here's the other way to do this. If a problem asks you to find this, you could plug 2 into each of these functions and then subtract your answer. We could write it like this, f of 2 minus g of 2. All right, so let's do this in our head. What do we get if we plug 2 into this? What is 2 times 2? Plus 1. Cinco. All right, let's do this one. We have 2 squared, which is 4. 2 times 2, which is 4. So we have 4 plus 4, which is 8. 8 minus 1? 7. What do we get? Negative 2. Shebang-a-dang.